So this is the picture used for the first album. She made like a clock out of the single. That's called a ship's piano. This is a test pressing. It has like a real kind of janky sound.
Hey everyone, I'm Katie Darrell, and we are going to do Rock and Tell today with Wesley Schultz of the Lumineers. Rock and Tell is like show and tell, but so much cooler because it's not toy trucks, it's rock and roll gear. What do you got for me today?
I'd say a good place to start is we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the first album. And so this is the picture we used for the first album. And this is my mom, and that's her mother.
Wow.
So this was our cover art, and I finally got it like properly framed just a couple weeks ago. It was kind of sitting in this frame for the longest time. They kept falling down. So this is a cool piece of history.
Now, Wes, how did that win the cover of the album versus like, wasn't Jeremiah like, hey, what about my mom?
He may have been. He never said that to me. I think if that wasn't even my mom, I still thought that picture was amazing. For a lot of reasons. One is that my mom is wearing this sort of, I think it's what do they call those? Parasol, like a umbrella for the sun. She's using one of those and she's smiling widely, and her mom tried to set her up and then leave the frame, and she couldn't get out fast enough. So she looks really ghostly and blurry, and she lost her mom when she was pretty young. So it's a beautiful like composition of a photo, but it also has this like, just all these layers to it. So when I explained that to Jer, I guess I was a good salesman about it, and he didn't get mad about his mom not being on the cover. But again, like we were just trying to find the best art we could find. See, I always wear this ring. So we have a song Classy Girls, and this is the $50 ring in the song. It's kind of, if I could get it close enough to the camera, you could see it says $50, and then it says United States of America. But I don't know if you can make that out on this not so good webcam thing. But yeah, my brother-in-law gave me this. They took a $50 and they made it into a ring, and then kept that on the inside. And it was a conversation starter at a few bars starting out. So
cool.
Let's see what else I got. We get these like weird, for some reason people are into tapes again. I can't explain
Yes.
it. But we had one for our last album, and then they send you, this is Brightside, but they send you like a blank looking, this is a test pressing of the tape. Again, I don't know how many people actually have tape players, but we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out.
I have a 79 Camaro with a tape deck in it.
That's
so
nice.
I am someone who values cassettes.
This is like probably, again, hard to see, but my dad wrote me this letter and my wife framed it for me. But this is before he passed away, but he said something about, you will be very successful, I think, with your music. You really work hard. And then he wrote, love, Dad. And this love right here is like, I took that and I brought it to a tattoo shop, and they put his handwriting on my arm from that letter. And then he died on 7/7/07 at 7:07 a.m. So I put sevens around his, and I kind of made it like a lucky number, but that's from that letter.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It was interesting because he was a psychologist, and we have a song Long Way From Home that I wrote about him kind of dealing with getting sick, and but I'd written another song while he was still alive, and that was why he wrote that. And I thought that was really sweet because he was kind of a shy person, and he sat through it and sort of encouraged me to be open with my feelings and use music that way, which I think really helps tell stories, because you got to be willing to tell your story just as much as other people's stories. You can't just only pointed at other people. So it helped to be empathetic toward myself, but also other people. Yeah, so you're looking at, basically this is where I write music. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here.
That white piano is pretty beautiful. Can you tilt the camera that direction and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's called a ship's piano. So it has like 50 something keys, and it So it's smaller to fit on a ship. And so this one was on a ship. My bandmate Stel drove out to Wisconsin and picked it up and surprised me with it. My wife like kind of hired him to do it because he loves these adventures, and he was sweet enough to do that. And it's on the recording. It's on one of the B-sides on our new record, actually. This we do a Cure cover, and Jared plays that, and I'm singing right next to him, right in this room. So when the album does come out and those B-sides come out, that's one of those that it's on there, and it was just something we did really kind of off the cuff, spontaneously. We cover Naive Melody, Talking Heads, and a friend of mine gave me this. She made like a clock out of the single, like a 7-inch.
That's awesome.
So I got that as my little timekeeper in the office here.
Well, now, before we let you go, the guitar over there, is that on any albums that we should know about, or is that just
I just got that, but I have like, I'll show you. I have a few here. This one was used on it was used on AM radio, and it sounds like an acoustic guitar, but it's one of these semi-hollow bodies, so it's really thin, and it has like a real kind of janky sound, and we don't really plug it in. We just mic it externally, so you get this kind of real thin, vulnerable sound that we do with we use a lot of Gibsons and a lot of Guilds on our albums. For whatever reason, it just kind of resonated with me in the same way that Jeremiah's piano sounds kind of creaky and old, and in a good way, a good threshold there. That's sort of what we go for with a lot of our instruments. His drums, my voice, everything is supposed to sound like it actually sounds, like you're next to the person, and not, real touched up and glossy. So
raw and real?
Yeah. So I think we developed a big fascination with that through like an album like Exile on Main Street, the Rolling Stones, or Heartbreaker, Ryan Adams, or the Felice Brothers have a lot of albums that have that tone to it. So we kind of were really inspired by a lot of that, and try to make it our own in our own way. So
awesome. Well, the new Lumineers album is called Bright Side. Wes, thank you for hanging out with us and playing Rock and Tell.
Yeah, thanks so much. This was fun.
Hey there, thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.